He noticed it the moment she walked into the room, her limp, the way she shifted her weight from one foot to the other, the slight wince in her eyes as she moved, and the careful way she held herself. It all caught his attention immediately. Jack Sullivan had spent most of his life trying not to notice people's pain, but something about her made it impossible to look away. She was a nurse at St. Mary's Hospital in a small town in Ohio, and he had come in that day, weary and frightened, to visit his elderly father after a minor stroke. The sterile smell of antiseptic hung in the air, but it was her presence that filled the room with a strange, quiet warmth. Before I continue, if you believe in kindness and second chances, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps bring these stories to life. Jack couldn't help but feel drawn to her. Her name was Rachel, a kind-faced nurse with soft brown hair tucked into a messy bun and eyes that seemed to carry the weight of 1,000 untold stories. Every time she moved through the ward, tending to patients with gentle care, he noticed the subtle discomfort in her step. One afternoon, after helping his father back to his room, Jack summoned the courage to ask about it. "Excuse me," he began cautiously. "I hope you don't mind me asking, but are you okay? You seem to be in pain when you walk." Rachel paused, her eyes flickering to his with a strange mix of surprise and sorrow. For a moment, she looked like she might brush the question off, but then a quiet sadness softened her features. "It's nothing to worry about," she said gently, though her voice carried the faintest tremor. Jack could tell she was holding back something deeper. For days afterward, he found himself watching for her in the hospital corridors, trying to understand the story behind her limp. Patients and colleagues spoke of her dedication, how she always stayed late to comfort the elderly, the sick, and those who had no one else. Yet beneath the professional facade, there was a vulnerability he couldn't ignore. And one rainy afternoon, when the hospital was quiet and most patients were asleep, Jack finally got the truth. He found her sitting on a bench outside the hospital, rain dripping off her coat, her face hidden behind the strands of wet hair. Without thinking, he sat beside her. She didn't speak at first, just stared at the ground as though the gray puddles mirrored the pain she carried. Slowly, she whispered, "I lost my husband. And then my son. A car accident took them both, and I was badly injured too. The doctors did everything they could, but this leg will never be the same." Jack's heart clenched. He had felt pain before, but hers was a storm contained in a fragile body, a sorrow she bore with quiet dignity. "I'm so sorry," he said, his voice catching. I just can't imagine." Rachel looked at him then, her eyes brimming with tears, yet her lips curved into the faintest smile. "Every day is a struggle, but helping others, it's the only thing that keeps me moving forward," she said. "Even with this limp, I have to be strong for them." Over the next few weeks, Jack visited more often, sometimes just to talk, sometimes to sit silently beside her. He watched as Rachel moved among patients with unwavering compassion, even when the pain in her leg flared. He learned about the little things that made her smile, a patient's laugh, a small gesture of gratitude, a letter from someone she had helped years ago. And through it all, he felt an admiration for her courage grow into something deeper. But life is never just about moments of admiration. It is about understanding the struggles that shape a person. Jack saw Rachel's exhaustion, the way she sometimes sat alone in the staff room, holding her knee, her eyes distant. He wanted to help, but he knew words weren't enough. So he began small, bringing her coffee, leaving little notes of encouragement, sharing stories from his own life to let her know she wasn't alone. Slowly, she began to open up, letting him glimpse the pain behind her smile and the hope she clung to each day. One evening, Jack arrived at the hospital to find Rachel trying to lift a patient from the wheelchair to the bed. Her face was set in determination, but her body betrayed her. She winced sharply and nearly collapsed. Without hesitation, Jack rushed to help, steadying her and supporting the patient together. It was a small act, but for Rachel, it felt monumental. In that moment, she realized that maybe, just maybe, it was okay to let someone share the burden with her. As days turned into weeks, their connection deepened. Jack never pushed her, he simply listened, encouraged, and shared quiet moments. And Rachel began to laugh again. Small, delicate laughs that echoed through the sterile halls like a gentle breeze breaking through a storm. She began to speak of dreams she had shelved, of life after loss, of the hope that had seemed unreachable. And in those moments, Jack felt the weight of his own life shift, learning that empathy is more than sympathy. It is the courage to stand with someone when the world seems determined to keep them down. One rainy afternoon, much like the first time Jack had found her outside the hospital, Rachel turned to him with a serene look he had never seen before. "Thank you," she whispered, "for seeing me, really seeing me, for helping me remember that life isn't just about surviving, it's about living." Jack felt tears sting his eyes. He realized then that their bond wasn't just about love or friendship, it was about healing. Two souls, scarred by loss, finding a way to move forward together, slowly and painfully, but with unwavering hope. Before we close, if this story has touched your heart even a little, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to our channel. And if it moved you, leave a comment below. Your words might inspire someone else to find courage in their own life. Rachel's limp never fully disappeared, and Jack never pretended it did. But they discovered something more powerful than physical strength: resilience, compassion, and the quiet miracle of being seen. And for both of them, that was enough to start again. Enough to believe that even after heartache, life could still surprise them with unexpected kindness, love, and a chance to heal together.